Did a forgotten writer predict satellites in 1870? Long before Sputnik, decades before rockets or radio, and even before the term artificial satellite had any real meaning, an American author imagined something extraordinary, placing a man-made object into orbit around Earth. His name was Edward Everett Hale, and in 1869 he published a story in the Atlantic Monthly called The Brick Moon. It wasn't just fiction. It was the first ever description of an artificial satellite and the first account of humans living in orbit, written almost a century before humanity actually reached space. To understand how visionary Hale's story really was, we need to rewind more than a century earlier to Isaac Newton. In 1728, Newton's posthumously published work, A Treatise of the System of the World, introduced a now famous thought experiment called Newton's Cannonball. Imagine a cannonball being fired from a mountaintop. If it moves slowly, it simply falls back to Earth. If it moves faster, it travels farther before hitting the ground. If it reaches the right speed, orbital velocity, gravity bends its path and it circles the Earth without landing. And if it goes even faster, past escape velocity, it leaves Earth entirely and never comes back. This was the first mathematical study of what we now call artificial satellites. It was physics on paper, an idea to explain the natural motion of the planets. But this was theory, not fiction, until Hale turned it into a story. Edward Everett Hale, born in 1822, was a man of many talents, a historian, a Unitarian minister, and an author. He was also deeply patriotic, the grandnephew of Nathan Hale, the Revolutionary War hero. Hale's writings often combined imagination, moral reflection, and emerging science. When he wrote The Brick Moon, he wasn't just telling a story. He was speculating on a future of human ingenuity, one where people could leave Earth, survive in orbit, and even navigate using technology far beyond their time. Hale's story is presented as a fictional journal describing the creation and launch of a man-made satellite, what he called a brick moon, into Earth's orbit. The satellite's purpose? Navigation. Not exploration, not war, but helping sailors and travelers find their way. Hale even predicted a concept similar to modern GPS. Multiple satellites in orbit would allow precise position calculations from anywhere on Earth. Then, in a twist of accidental brilliance, people end up aboard the satellite. Hale imagines their survival and adaptation, essentially life on a space station, decades before anyone would experience zero gravity or orbiting Earth. Hale's vision didn't exist in a vacuum. It influenced other writers of his era, including Jules Verne, who explored similar ideas in his 1879 novel The Begum's Fortune, imagining advanced technology and even concepts reminiscent of artificial satellites. Even in modern science fiction, authors like Terry Pratchett and Stephen Baxter have referenced Hale's Brick Moon. In their Long Earth series, the space station built in the gap, where the Earth is missing, is named the Brick Moon, appearing in the novels The Long War and The Long Mars. What's remarkable is that Hale's story shows something important. Fiction often reaches the future before science catches up. Long before engineers built satellites or NASA existed, Hale's imagination had already launched the first one. If this glimpse into early speculative science has sparked your curiosity, the full text of The Brick Moon is preserved and archived here on Archivum Infinitum. A link to listen to this historic work of proto-science fiction is provided in the description and at the end of this video. This video serves as your introduction. The story itself, Hale's vision of orbiting humanity, awaits you, ready to transport you to a time when fiction imagined what reality would one day achieve. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in videos like this one. We look forward to bringing you more content like this in the future.